now we're going to make a healthy version of a banana bread. When you start with something like bananas, it's healthy to begin with. So think of it that way. Lots of bananas, lots of flavor, not much fat, not much sugar. It's delicious. First, I'm going to whisk together the dry ingredients. I have my 1½ cups of flour and my ½ cup of whole wheat and my ½ teaspoon of salt and my 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm sorry, baking soda, not powder. I'm going to whisk those together. I'm going to throw in about 1.5 teaspoons. If you like more, have more. This is a teaspoon. That's 2 teaspoons. Look at all these fancy measuring spoons. They're kind of cool. Huh? This is 1.5 teaspoons. Put that in. Ooh, that smells delish. Just going to whisk that in. And in this bowl right here are all my dry ingredients. We're going to set that right aside. Now I have my gigantic bowl. This bowl is so great. I'm going to do my 5 bananas. If you only have 4, don't panic. Use 4. It's fine. Or if you have like 4 big bananas, use 4. If you have like 6 small bananas, use 6. Whatever. This is a very forgiving quick bread. And it is a quick bread. Like sort of along the same lines as a date nut bread or pretty much any muffin. A muffin is a quick bread also. Did you know that? In a little bit of a different shape. And if you have some of these bruises and whatnot, don't even worry about it. Fire them in there. So we've got our 5 bananas. If my girl Lily was here, she'd be doing this. This is her favorite part. She's done this since she was a baby with the potato masher. A little tiny girl with a potato masher. So cute. So I'm just going to whirl these up until they're nice and soft. All right, so that's a good start. Now I'm going to add my 1/3 cup of the unsweetened applesauce. The reason I'm using the applesauce is because I want to keep the fat down. I could have used a ½ cup of canola oil, but I'm not going to. So here I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of canola oil. And then I'm going to do my 1 large egg. I'm going to break it into that just in case it's no good or I get it full of shells, but I didn't. That's going in. Then I have 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract. That's going in, and my Splenda. Oh, look at that. You didn't even tell me that that was over there. Gracious. And my Splenda's going in. And like I said, you want to use sugar? Use sugar. Go right ahead. Start out with probably ½ cup, and when this is all mixed together, taste it. And if your bananas weren't really sweet, you might have to add a little bit more sugar. But again, it's a personal taste thing. So let's give this a spin till it's all nice and pureed. A little secret about bananas while I'm doing this. If you have 1 banana that's lousy and the kids have eaten all the rest of them, peel it, throw it in a little Ziploc bag, zip top bag, fire it in the freezer. Then you got another one in a few days, and then you have 2, throw them all in the freezer. By the time you have 4 or 5, take them out, let them defrost, and follow along as we're doing right now. They're going to be brown and not very attractive, but that's okay. Now, you see where I am here? I still have some big lumps. You want a lumpy banana bread? Stop here. I want mine a little smoother, but not too much. I do like the little bit of lumps in the whole mix there. Just about done. All right. I'm just going to scrape this down. And that's what it looks like, okay? Now, I have all my dry ingredients together. And when you're baking, this is pretty much a rule for all baking, keep your wet ingredients and your dry ingredients separate for as long as you can. When you put them together, mix them as little as possible and just enough to get them incorporated. Because what happens is you start activating the gluten in the flour, and that makes whatever you're baking puff. So I'm just giving my glass pan a spray here. And the reason I use glass pans is because I can see what's happening in the oven. Because if you use a dark pan, Things are, one, going to cook faster. They're going to cook faster on the outside, and you're not going to know if it's done all over. But when you use a glass pan, you can see it's beautiful. So I'm not going to use the mixer again. I'm done because I want to be gentle. Gentle, 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 incorporating the dry ingredients here. Here we go. Just going to sprinkle them over the top. And that's another reason why I whisked them all together first, so that I didn't have to mix extra in this wet bowl, mixing them together. So I'm just being very gentle, scraping down the sides. It's sort of more of a folding than a stirring. See how it's getting very well incorporated fairly quickly, because there's a lot of wet stuff in this. Now you want to stop mixing right about here when you don't see any more flour streaks of flour in your mixture. That's it, folks, right there. It's going right in the pan, which I sprayed, which you saw. Because this is a dense batter, it's going to take a good 55 to 60 minutes to cook all the way through. And you know what? Use your nose too. When you start to smell it, it's time to check it. Now I have my fancy little sugar here. See how it's all crystally? It's very cute. It's going to make the top look really pretty. And this is probably adding, I don't know, 20 calories to the whole thing. You don't want to overdo it. I think I had 2 tablespoons here, and I'm probably only using 1. So that's it. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to position my oven rack right in the middle, and I'm going to pop this in. Set my timer for probably 50 minutes and take a peek at it at 50, because it's better to look early than to look late, and when it's smelly and overcooked and burned and terrible and you've ruined the whole thing. So be vigilant and look at your baked goods early and often. So I'll pop this in the oven, and when we come back, I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm ready to slice into my banana bread. It cooked for 55-60 minutes, and I've let it cool. I let it cool in the pan for 15 minutes, and then I put it on a rack, and now it's all cool. Take a nice slice. Oh yeah, look at that. You can still see the chunks of banana. It smells wonderful. You can see the little decorative sugar on the top. Well, I'm pretty much ready for a snack. So there's your healthy banana bread.